Namaste. You are listening to the final chapter of Manav Parichay, the victory of justice and national upliftment. In the last episode, I and Nasir's first wife, Firdaus, who is now a renowned High Court lawyer, connected over the phone. I asked Firdaus, is my neighbor Nasir indeed her former husband? Evidence of Nasir's Manav Parichay. Upon hearing the news of Nasir's transformation, Firdaus expressed more joy than surprise. She said, "Sir, if this has happened, it is another success for my husband Judge Harishchandra's experiment with justice." I briefly summarized the qualities of Nasir's human introduction. He behaves with deep affection toward people of other communities. He prioritizes national strength over religious identity. He gave his wife Sabah the opportunity to complete a dual degree in engineering and management. Firdaus's philosophical conclusion, confirming my statement, Firdaus said, "One should not hate the bad person, but the evil within them. The day evil is eradicated, a person becomes worthy of being called a true human." Nasir's political rise. Nasir handed over the responsibility of the workshop to his wife Sabah and dedicated himself to politics. His tireless hard work performed a miracle. Political victory. The Rashtra Nirman Party gave Nasir a ticket, and he proved the political analysts wrong by winning elections 3 times in a row. The end of the fatwa. Influenced by Nasir's progressive wave, even the muftis, Maulvis, and Qazis became his supporters. Finally, the fatwa against Nasir was withdrawn. National ambition. After becoming a minister, Nasir revealed his true ambition. "My ambition should be that we, the government, take India to that destination where, in the world, India's work and its citizens' names are spoken of with respect." He inspired people of his community to adopt modern education and take initiatives for social harmony, which significantly reduced incidents of communal conflict in the country. The final victory of justice, when Nasir won the election for the 3rd time and became a cabinet minister in the central government, this wonderful event was discussed everywhere. Final glory. The story concludes when Firdaus calls to share, her husband, Judge Harishchandra, has been appointed as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court by the President. Listen to how justice, patience, and wisdom transformed a radical criminal into a national leader, and how a neighbor's simple conduct ensured the completion of that justice, in the final and grand episode of Manav Parichay. You will hear Episode 21, The Victory of Justice and National Upliftment. As soon as the call connects, a resonant female voice asks me, "Who is this?"
Firdaus was very happy at what I told her. After exchanging some general pleasantries, I said, "Firdaus, for the last 5 years, Nasir has been living in our neighborhood with his family. From what I discovered about him yesterday, I feel that this Nasir is indeed your former husband."
Firdaus then became serious and said, "Sir, that could absolutely be the case. He is, after all, a resident of here, and my former city."
Then I said to Firdaus, "My experience with him as a neighbor is completely opposite to yours. Today, he is a person for whom you would use the phrase, Manav Parichay, the introduction of a human." Hearing this, I realized from Firdaus's reply that she felt more joy than surprise. She said,
"Sir, if this has happened, then it is another success for my husband Judge Harishchandra's experiment with justice. My revered husband believes that the concept of justice and punishing a criminal only finds completion when the criminal tendency itself is eradicated." Firdaus paused for a few moments. Then she asked, "Sir, what things in Nasir make you see Manav Parichay? Please tell me as well."
Then, among many other things, I concluded by summarizing Nasir's virtues. Nasir's affectionate behavior toward us, people of a different community often called Kafirs, has never felt like anything less than that of our own son. At the young age of just 35, Nasir has established such a strong political identity that his admirers are more from other communities than his own. In his thoughts, he prioritizes the strength of the nation above religion. He is a youth who supports progressivism. There is not even a trace of irrational religious radicalism in him. After marriage, Nasir provided his wife Sabah the opportunity to pursue a dual degree from a prestigious college like NIT. Because of this, Sabah is an automobile engineer today. In my view, the presence of these characteristics is the reason for Manav Parichay in Nasir.
Then Firdaus said, "Undoubtedly, sir, you are absolutely right. When comparing the Nasir of the past to the Nasir of today, I think it is rightfully said that one should not hate the bad person, but the evil within them. The day evil is eradicated from any person, that bad person automatically becomes worthy of being called a human. It means that God, by giving birth in human form, has endowed everyone with human-like virtues, but unfortunately, a few cunning and hyper-selfish individuals have made it their mission to lead humans away from the path of humanity.
Hearing this, I said, Firdaus, you have a unique art of expression in precise words. Firdaus replied happily, thank you, sir. Then, wishing each other good night, we ended the call. That night I thought that this big world sometimes becomes a very small one. It is a coincidence that one day I met Firdaus, a stranger tormented by Nasir. And now, the stranger who tormented her, Nasir, has become our close acquaintance and neighbor.
Because of Nasir's conduct, the quality of his work, and the low charges for car repairs and servicing, his workshop became highly favored among customers. Perhaps Nasir was systematically waiting for his wife Sabah to complete her degree. Thus, as soon as Sabah obtained her engineering and management degree, Nasir handed over the responsibility of the car workshop to her. Along with this, Nasir did one more thing. He gave his brother-in-law, Sabah's brother, Imran, a 25% share in the workshop's income. With this new arrangement, Nasir freed himself from the responsibilities of a workshop owner. Then, Nasir began giving most of his time to politics. In the Rashtra Nirman Party, there are very few influential leaders from Nasir's community. Therefore, the top leaders of the party, with the intent of increasing the party's reach among the people of this community, began giving Nasir more importance than his contributions alone warranted. Encouraged by this importance, Nasir began working with dedication at the ground level to increase his and the party's popularity. The result was that in the general elections, Nasir was given the ticket for the Rashtra Nirman Party from a community-dominated area. For Nasir, this was both an opportunity and a tough challenge. No candidate from the Rashtra Nirman Party had ever won from this constituency before. Here, Nasir's rival candidate was from a regional party that practiced communal politics, a candidate who had represented the area 3 times prior. Even in this election, political analysts predicted that the rival would win again. But then, Nasir's tireless hard work proved the political analysts wrong. When the election results were announced, Nasir won in his very first attempt. It is a matter of wonder that Nasir, who once served time in jail, possesses such indomitable willpower and talent. Today, no one can imagine how ordinary this talented person once was when the doors of his mind were closed. Winning from this constituency suddenly raised Nasir's stature within his party. However, winning an election was not Nasir's ultimate ambition. This fact was known only to Nasir. For him, this achievement was merely a means to realize his other ambition. Nasir's deliberate ambition was to see the progress of the people of his community. He found the idea very unpleasant that his community, with its large population, remained occupied and content with calling and believing itself to be a minority. Nasir knows that in this country, there are other communities for whom the term minority is actually accurate. But these communities have established such social harmony with the majority population that no one sees or understands them as separate. These communities live with happiness and prosperity in this grand nation without difference of opinion or malice. Nasir's goal is to give a new direction to the ideology of his community through awareness. He wants to incline them toward obtaining modern education and create a feeling in their minds that this country belongs to them. Nasir wants his community to realize that an initiative for social harmony with other communities from their side alone can ensure their progress and happy life. Not only this, but such behavior by the people of the community can eliminate the factors hindering India's progress. Nasir is in no hurry to achieve this goal. His age, moving toward maturity, is considered youth in politics. Setting his strategy, he began working on it. Because of this, 3 clear divisions began to appear in his community in his constituency. Among the first 2 types are the radical and orthodox religious leaders, and the second are the people who follow their dictates and incitements. In Nasir's awareness campaign, more people in his community are now becoming the third type. This third category is of people who are neither radical religious leaders nor their blind followers. These are the people who wish to see communal hatred eradicated from society. Nasir has also won the next election held 5 years later. Then, the truth of his acceptance within the community was acknowledged even by his opponents. Now, Muftis, Maulvis, and Qazis have also joined those influenced by Nasir. When this happened, one day the fatwa against Nasir was withdrawn. Member of Parliament Nasir has been invited to be honored. Many Imams, Muftis, Maulvis, and Qazis are present at the event.
In his address to that assembly, Nasir said, "By the grace of Allah, today I have been able to become a public representative elected by the people. In this role, I have received the responsibility of serving the people of the country. In my view, upon being an MP, I should avoid glorifying myself. I should not have the ambition to have millions of fans and followers. My ambition should be that we, the government, take India to that destination where, in the world, India's work and its citizens' names are spoken of with respect. We present here are followers of Islam. We are the people responsible for leading the community and giving them the teachings of our religion. We should not try to glorify ourselves by our achievements. We should avoid the ambition of having thousands or millions of followers and instead be ambitious about our work and efforts, so that followers of Islam hold their heads high with pride upon seeing us and our achievements. More than a hunger for personal respect, we should have that hunger which finds satisfaction in the praise and respect of Islam and the Prophet, not just in India but in the entire world. For this, it is our duty to renounce the tendency that satisfies our ego. We should cultivate that tendency where we find satisfaction in the respect our religion receives. We must give the Muslim community an identity as a community that spreads love in the world."
Nasir's brief address inspired the audience and listeners to reflect. After the speech ended, the resonance of applause was heard for a long time. Nasir's fame now rose above the city and the state to the national level. Now, the number of third type of people in the community also began to increase in the country. Nasir is pleased to see that in the majority community, trust toward his community is now growing. People of Nasir's community have also started becoming popular. With the increase in the number of nationalist people in such a country, incidents of communal conflict in society have greatly decreased. Now India has also become strong at its borders. The morale of India's traditional enemies to weaken India has been crushed. The country has begun moving forward, reaching new milestones of development and economic achievement every day. When Nasir again won the election for the third consecutive time, he was appointed as a cabinet minister of an important department in the central government. With Nasir becoming such a powerful leader, the strength of those promoting communal politics has become very low.
I still talk to Firdaus about Nasir. In today's conversation, Firdaus said, "It is a wonderful event that a prisoner, Nasir, who was serving a sentence at one time has transformed into a minister of the country in so few years."
A few more days passed, and then Firdaus called. Firdaus shared, "My husband, Judge Harish Chandra, has been appointed as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court by the President."
I said, "Yes, Firdaus, I also saw this news today. Heartiest wishes and congratulations to you and the Honorable Chief Justice from my side. It is a matter of pride for me that I have found such closeness with the families of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and an important minister of the country."
Firdaus replied, "Yes sir, on this I would like to say that Firdaus being the wife of the Chief Justice would not have been possible without your role. If you had not safely reached that helpless Firdaus to her father's house that day, perhaps this Firdaus would not even be alive to experience this feeling of pride in life."
I said, "Firdaus, I only became an instrument in this happening. It was made possible by your destiny and your ability."
Finally, Firdaus said, "It is your greatness to say so, sir." Now listen to the review, critique, and guidance written by Gemini on this episode of Manav Parichay. Subtitle: The Victory of Justice and National Upliftment. 1. Confirmation of Final Truth and Motto. At the beginning of the episode, the conversation between the neighbor, character in the story, and Firdaus officially brings the central mystery of the story to a close. The judicial experiment. Firdaus considers Nasir's transformation a success of her husband Chief Justice Harish Chandra's judicial experiment. This shifts the responsibility for Nasir's change from purely personal effort to the power of a positive judicial system. The idea that the purpose of punishment should be to eliminate the criminal tendency establishes the philosophical foundation of the story. The criteria for Manav Parichay, the neighbor naming Nasir's characteristics as Manav Parichay, proves that Nasir's transformation is not superficial. The virtues mentioned by the neighbor, prioritizing nationalism over religion, progressivism, lack of communal radicalism, and the empowerment of his wife, depict the definition of a modern and ideal citizen. Moral victory. Firdausa's statement that one should not hate the bad person, but the evil within them, presents the main message of the story in precise words. Nasir has eradicated the evil within him, therefore, he is now worthy of being called human. 2. Nasir's political upliftment and social mission. Nasir's story is a journey from a prisoner serving a sentence to becoming a cabinet minister, which is a testament to his indomitable willpower and self-purification. Saba's empowerment. Final stage, handing over the responsibility of the workshop to Saba as soon as she received her dual degree in engineering and management, is the fulfillment of his resolution for atonement and women's empowerment. Giving a share to Imran also shows Nasir's social responsibility and familial harmony. Political strategy. Nasir wants to lead his community out of the minority mindset and integrate them into the national mainstream. His strategy succeeds, and the third category, free from radicalism, progressive, emerges. This is politics of awakening and integration as opposed to the old politics of divide and rule. Withdrawal of the fatwa. The withdrawal of the fatwa against Nasir is the final victory of his external, communal, struggle. It proves that the change was so deep that even opponents began to acknowledge his acceptance. Essence of the address. Nasir's address in the Assembly of Imams and Maulvis focuses on staying away from personal glorification and working for the respect of the nation and religion. It presents a new definition of leadership, one that creates ideals rather than just followers. 3. Climax. Meeting of two superpowers. The structural climax of the story occurs in the final paragraphs, where the two main male characters reach the pinnacle of the nation. Nasir, cabinet minister after third consecutive victory, executive. Harish Chandra, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Judiciary. This coincidence provides the story with a powerful symbol. At the top of the executive and the judiciary are the two men who shared a deep emotional connection in the past. One represents reform, the other represents justice and compassion. 4. Final conclusion of the tale. The story ends with Firdausa's gratitude. Her statement that she would not be alive without the role played by the neighbor character in the story brings their subplot to a full stop. The neighbor's small humane intervention, giving a lift and later calling, became the instrument for saving Firdausa's life and validating Nasir's transformation. The entire story concludes with the moral victory of personal change, progressivism, nationalism, and human compassion. Episode 21 ends.